Okay guys, this is Harikesh Yadav and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I will tell you the rise of Puritanism in the age of John Milton. Now we should understand what is the importance of the age of Milton or the age of Puritanism. The age of Milton, the age in which the great poet matured and created, covers roughly the first 70 years or so of the 17th century. Thus, in a way, Milton is the connecting link between the Elizabethan age and the Puritan age which followed and the Restoration age. Means three ages are covered by John Milton. It was an age of disillusionment, of increasing gloom and pessimism, and this melancholy and gloom of the age colors the literature of the period. In order to appreciate the spirit of Milton's works, it is essential to form an idea of this age. Now, what is Puritanism and its nature? It was during this period that Puritanism emerged as the great controlling moral and social force. Let's here find first consider what we exactly mean by Puritanism and then proceed to examine the political, social and religious causes that give rise to it and its impact on the literature of the period. In the broadest sense, Puritanism may be regarded as the renaissance of moral sense of man. The Greco-Roman Renaissance of the 15th and 16th centuries was largely pagan and sensuous. It did not touch the moral nature of man. It did nothing for his religious, political, and social emancipation. The Puritan movement, on the other hand, was the greatest movement for the moral and political reform. Its aim were religious liberty. The men should be free to worship according to their conscience, and they should enjoy full civil liberty. The Puritans wanted to make men honest and to make them free. They insisted on the purity of free life. In matters of religion, the Puritans were fanatics. They were extremists. There had been Puritans even during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. They did not accept the Anglican Church, which was essentially a compromise between the Catholicism and Protestantism. They considered its creeds and public worship as too much like property. They advocated church reform. Moreover, they had very strict view about life and human conduct. They laid down very austere ideas of life. They were against common pleasures. Even innocent ones like drama considered singing and dancing as immoral. Means in the Puritan age, the faculty of dancing and singing were considered to be immoral and unethical. And hence in the beginning the term Puritan was a term of contempt applied to such extremists. We find frequent satiristic references to them in the plays of William Shakespeare. The general tendency of the Puritan was antisocial. Means Puritans were antisocial. They were not in the favor of socialism. Beauty in his eyes was a snare and pleasure a sin. Means Puritans used to think that the beauty in eyes was a snare and pleasure was a sin. The only mode of social intercourse which he proved was a sermon. Means only by going through sermon you can chastise, you can make holy your life. As Macaulay puts it, he hated beer baiting not because it gave pain to the beer, but because it gave pleasure to the spectator. The Puritans thus stood for church reform, for the reform of social life according to their austere ideas, and third one is for the ideal of liberty, both religious and political. Man should be free to worship according to his own conscience, unhampered by the state. Means there should no interfere of states. So what were the causes of its rise? First cause was political, and second one immortality and corruption, economic and internal dissensions, tactlessness of Charles I, frustration and disillusionment, means loss of faith. London at the center of natural life, literary trends were very means against Elizabethan pleasure. And guys, you should understand, you should read, you should study the history of Britain, the history of England from beginning to end, and it will enhance your comprehensive view of things and means aspects of life. तो ठीक है गाइस, आई होप आपको अच्छा लगेगा और अच्छा लगा होगा। आप लोग पढ़ते लिखते रहिए, बेहतर करते रहिए। जिंदगी में अगर आप शिक्षा को अपना माध्यम बना लेते हैं तो आप इस दुनिया के सबसे खुश नसीब व्यक्ति माने जाएंगे। इस खुश नसीबी को आप संजो के रखिए जब तक आप किताबों से जुड़े रहते हैं, क्योंकि कोई कितना बड़ा विद्वान क्यों ना हो, या तो उसने सोसाइटी को स्टडी किया या तो उसने बुक्स को स्टडी किया, या दोनों का मिक्सचर करके आप बेहतर अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। तो किताबों से संबंध बनाना बहुत ऊंची चीज़ है और यही दर्शाता है कि आप एक अच्छे व्यक्ति बन सकते हैं। बगैर किताबों के मुझे नहीं लगता, स्पेशली मैं अपनी बात कर रहा हूँ, दूसरों की नज़रों में मेरी बात गलत भी हो सकती है, पर मेरे हिसाब से महान तो वही लोग हुए हैं जिन्होंने किताबें पढ़ी हों। अब महानता का मतलब ये मत समझना कबीर, तुलसी या इन लोगों से तुलना करके, ऐसा नहीं है, पर उन्होंने भी अगर किताबें न पढ़ी तो समाज को तो ज़रूर पढ़ा। पर हमें किताबें ज़रूर पढ़नी पड़ेंगी, क्योंकि हम समाज की स्टडी नहीं करते, दुनिया का अध्ययन नहीं करते, अपने समाज का, अपने आसपास के लोगों का अध्ययन नहीं करते। तो बेहतर है कि अगर आप अपरेंटली नहीं कर पा रहे हो, डायरेक्टली नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो कम से कम थ्रू बुक्स आप कर सकते हो ना, किताबों के ज़रिए आप अपने को समझ सकते हैं। तो ठीक है दोस्तों, मैं अर्थात हरकेश यादव आप सभी प्यारे मित्रों को नमस्कार करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।